here. Are you kidding me right now? You haven't been to Bitterford. The only reason you're here is a PR stunt. Get out of here.
A 26-year-old Colombian man was fatally shot by ICE. Now, he had his social security number. He even had permits to work.
Have you heard about white women being the problem, the main problem, the biggest problem in our country? Maybe white women like this? Well, maybe she had been a problem in the past because she was quiet. But if you don't want to be considered one of those white women that are a problem, you know, one of those white women that are, you know, carrying water for the patriarchy, then I need you to behave like this woman. And I also need you to behave like this woman. But if you're a white woman, I really, really, really need you to behave like this woman. I've confronted racists a lot, male and female. They exist everywhere. And in Alaska, you would think that we wouldn't have too much of a racist problem here, but it has grown. She points out how it's been escalated, or it's been escalating, and she is absolutely right. And the only way it's going to ever change is if white people use their platforms, whatever their platforms are. No matter how small, no matter how large, no matter how many, if you think you're going to get sponsors, I don't have any sponsors. I have nothing to lose and only everything to gain by encouraging or inspiring somebody, a white woman, anywhere in this country to, you know, don't think of yourself as a liberal like me or a feminist. Just think of yourself as a human being who's not going to look away from the atrocities and cruelties that some human beings will inflict upon others. Don't live your life from a place of apathy and disconnect. There are more of us that care about each other than there are about those who want to abuse us, use us, and profit off of us. And when the working class gets together and uses their strength in numbers, we are going to be unstoppable. And yeah, it starts with white women. We have been the problem. We've allowed ourselves to be steamrolled by misogyny and control. We've allowed ourselves to be programmed and, you know, shaped into little handmaidens. But we can change that because we can gain back control of ourselves, our thoughts, our bodies, everything. And it starts with getting together and speaking up. So I'm going to attach her video, which she has clips of this video about what happened in Maine. And it's going to keep happening. They're going to keep pushing us until we finally push back harder. Please, if you're a white woman, share with other white women your concerns. We can't allow those in power and those with the most resources to abuse those with the least resources and the least say.
For many years, many people have argued and believed that white women are dangerous, white women are deadly, after documented the fact that white women played a unique role in reinforcing, racial injustice and, all sorts of abuse against black people. Well, looks like not anymore, looks like not all of them. Looks like today's generation is challenging that legacy in a very different ways. Of course, yeah, not all of them. Some white women are still dangerous as Elia claimed. Now, the reaction we are about to see highlight a growing debate over whether more white women are choosing to speak out against racism, against abuse of power and white supremacy instead of, remaining silent as before. But are these voices changing public perception, or is this, only the beginning of much bigger shift of, how things should go? I mean, in today's video, we'll break down these emotional moments, examine the different perspectives, and let you decide what to truly reveal. So please, brothers and sisters, stay with me until the end, because at the end we can have that, summary, that breakdown, the main messages these people are trying to share. By the way, these are all white women sharing, their voices, sharing their messages. So if this is your first time, please subscribe so we can have more of this discussion. Otherwise, I love that you are there. See you at the end of the video. Let's dive into this.
Maine is a state that has the lowest number of Latinos. This city specifically has about 700 Latinos, which means ICE specifically went out and hunted and found the Latinos to round up and arrest. And here's the thing, we really need our white allies to stand with us at this point. I've been doing this work for years. A video that I make does not get as much engagement and reach as much as the white folks. And I hate to say it, and I don't want to be that person, but whenever a white person speaks up, when a white person does this kind of work and really uses their privilege to stand up to white supremacy, it goes a long way. And I hate that our society is like this. They're escalating, and it's incredibly dangerous. It's incredibly scary, and we absolutely need our white allies to stand with us. Shout out to this woman. But let me know what you think. Leave a comment down below. Make sure you follow me for news updates like this.
Dear white people, it's time to stand the fuck up. ICE killed another person today in Biddeford, Maine. This time, he was a 26-year-old Colombian father. According to the Maine Immigrants' Rights Coalition, he was legally authorized to work in the United States. He had been issued a social security number, and he was on the way to work with his 3-year-old daughter when he was killed. Witnesses say his 3-year-old daughter, still wearing her bluey pajamas, watched her father die. How many more? How many more people have to die before more people who look like me decide to speak up? Silence protects these systems that are killing innocent human beings. Are you ever going to care, or are you going to keep living your life in your white privilege bubble until it finally affects you? If these deaths don't affect you personally, that's all the more reason to use your voice for the people they do affect. Justice requires all of us, especially those of us whose communities are not being disproportionately impacted by this issue. How many more people have to be shot and killed by ICE before this country finally says that's enough? I don't care what excuses they come up with this time to justify the killing. Deadly force is never justified in immigration enforcement. No one should lose their lives by the hands of ICE. Immigration is a civil issue. These ICE operations rely solely on racial profiling. No one should have to fear being targeted and killed because of how they look, the language they speak, or where they are from. We have allowed our government to build a militarized immigration force that sends armed, masked agents into our communities, often operating in unmarked vehicles. We should not accept this as normal. If armed, masked people in unmarked vehicles were following me, I would run too. Most people would run, and don't tell me that you wouldn't. How many more families have to be torn apart before we demand accountability? How many more children have to witness their parents' death? How many more people have to die before we collectively say enough is enough?
I can't fucking do it. I can't.
You guys want to know what she's crying about?
They shot my killed man today in Biddeford, Maine, because he was an immigrant who was actually a native man of the land.
Well, now that we've heard the unhinged white liberal woman version of events, it's time to hear the truth, because as we know, those are two totally different things. So what actually happened is that ICE agents went to the last known address of an illegal migrant who had a final deportation order, and this other guy who was a Colombian national decided to flee, so they chased after him, and then he decided to drive toward them with his car, and then they opened fire. And you don't have to take my word for it, there's an eyewitness to how this unfolded.
I heard yelling off to so I looked, and I was watching, and the ICE agent was yelling, drew his weapon, and he kept yelling and yelling, warning the person driving. Just when the car was put into drive, he was trying to hit the ICE officer, and he fired, I would say, probably 4 shots at him.
Now let's be clear. Yes, it is tragic that this man lost his life. Never mind that none of these people have ever shed tears like this for Laken Riley or Jocelyn Nungare or Logan Federico or Dakara Thompson or Sheridan Gorman. and the long list of women that have lost their lives because of sanctuary city policies. But you know what would have kept ICE out of the communities and would make sure stuff like this doesn't happen? Is if Democrat mayors and governors had been working with ICE all along and detained the people that needed to be deported so that ICE could just go to the prisons or detention centers and deported people from there. But because Democrat politicians have been refusing to work with ICE for years and intentionally ended the policies that would have put all of these people in one place. So now these agents have to go into these communities to find these people, which is what Democrats wanted because they want this chaos. And white liberal women have been the easiest to manipulate in helping them achieve their goals.
His weapon, and he kept yelling and yelling and warning the person driving, which is when the car was put into drive and was trying to hit the ICE officer. And he fired, I would say, probably 4 shots at him.
So how many more people have to die before y'all get it through y'all's thick heads that maybe running over ICE agents and not complying and resisting is never going to end up well for you? I know a lot of y'all come from countries where the law the law is non-existent and criminals run the law. They're the ones who run things. But sorry, you're in USA and here they enforce the law. This is why we don't have criminals or cartels running the place here. And if that's what you want and that's what y'all are crying about, then y'all need to go move to those countries like Mexico, where the cartel runs the country, Colombia, where it's the criminals. But yeah, because if you try that crap over here, it's never, ever going to end up well for you. And it's so stupid when I come across people saying, oh, ICE is just killing people and they're just cold-blooded, blah, blah, blah. But you never talk about how the person tried to run the ICE agent over. Are you kidding me? I mean, why don't y'all ever talk about the cases where people have complied and all they did was just simply take them back to the countries like Mexico, the countries that y'all swear is better than here anyway. So what's the problem? But in most cases, when you comply, that's the worst. That's what happens. You just simply get sent back home. No lives are lost, nothing. But no, y'all want to make it a big old deal, acting like ICE is just like killing people cold-blooded. And y'all have all this outcry for them. But then when it comes to like actual innocent people who are law abiding, who haven't done anything wrong and get murdered by illegal immigrants, y'all don't care. So that's why I don't really care. Of course, it's sad. But the second that I find out that they resisted or they try to run over the cop, my sympathy goes out the window. Because 1,000 times I'd rather live in a country where you need to respect the law than criminals run the country. I have more sympathy for the innocent people, the children that have been killed by people like that come here and they feel like they don't have to respect your law. I feel more sympathy for those victims. So y'all can miss me with this fake outrage because I've already seen that the only people y'all care about more are criminals and not law-abiding citizens. Y'all put their rights above the innocent people. And another thing, I honestly feel that the people that want criminals to run this country are people that hate this country and want to see this country down to the ground. And I don't understand how you can live in a country that you hate so much. Like, that has to be such a miserable life to wake up every day in a country that you hate. Like, if y'all think that this country is so bad, go live in another country. Why are y'all here? The only reason y'all are here is just to cry and want to make this country worse and make it like the countries that y'all think is better. And the countries that y'all claim are better are the countries where criminals are the ones that are put in charge and their rights are above the citizens. So yeah, if that's the kind of country you want, go. But United States will never be like that.
What are you gonna do about it? Huh? What are you gonna fucking do about it? Fuck you! Do it! Fucking do it! You white supremacist piece of shit! Look at you! Look in the mirror! Look in the mirror! Go take your food stamps and buy more food! Fuck you! Fuck you! You're shooting people in the street! You're shooting people in the street! I know that! Fuck you! What are you gonna do?
I can't fucking do it. I came out of my apartment and there's crime scene tape everywhere. There's police everywhere. I just posted a video talking about how it was a waste of our fucking tax dollars. And you know what it is? It was an immigration. Somebody running from immigration. They shot and fucking killed him. They shot and fucking killed a man today in Biddeford, Maine because he was an immigrant who was actually a native man of the land. There's a dead body across the street from my house and that is a human being.
that was murdered because he just wanted freedom and a taste of freedom. Like, what the fuck? I hate this fucking place. I hate it so much.
His wife kneeled on the ground, wailing, after they executed her husband in front of her and their 3-year-old daughter. On Monday morning, ICE murdered a 25-year-old Colombian man named Joan in Biddeford, Maine. His father said that he was, quote, a good person raised with strong values, and shared that he was working 2 jobs to support his wife and daughter. Comments relayed from a conversation between Senator Angus King and Mark Wayne Mullin suggest that he wasn't even the person they were looking for. They said the exact same thing about Lorenzo. Presente Maine and Maine Immigrants' Rights Coalition reported that Joan was authorized to work in the United States. Additionally, this morning in Florida, a man died fleeing ICE agents when he was hit by a tractor trailer. Masked men should not be able to murder people with impunity because of imaginary lines colonial entities drew on a map, regardless of their status. Full stop. After Joan was murdered, protesters took to the streets at Biddeford, and ICE has been ordered to halt most vehicle stops. But of course, Tom Homan, the White House border czar, still got on Fox News today and said this.
I think ICE is going to continue doing record arrests, record removals, and this is, I wouldn't even call it bump in the road.
A bump in the road. That's how they see the murders of these individuals. Not in their full humanity, not as beloved community members, but a bump in the road. Abolish ICE.
And someone died here! Are you kidding me right now? You haven't been to Biddeford. The only reason you're here is a PR stunt! Get out of here! If you don't want to be here, then don't!
And send your ICE with you!
Do something here! Do something!
Welcome back, brothers and sisters. Now, before we break down every message, every claim, every argument these white women are sharing with us, I think it's good to talk about it. You see, in life, there are moments when words alone are not, enough to express a point or to prove a certain point wrong. I mean, sometimes the strongest way to challenge a bad reputation made against you is through your actions, through your good actions, not endless arguments. What do I mean? You see, as others claim that white women are dangerous, these white women don't need to prove that claim to be wrong by arguing, by exchanging words, or trying to justify themselves as right. No, we are not that you are wrong. Rather, the best way is to do the right thing through good actions. Now, some of the women featured in this video believe that's exactly what they are trying to do by speaking out instead of remaining silent, confronting all cases of injustice, discrimination, racism, and white supremacy. So, yeah, I know as people we look at things differently, whether people agree with that or you don't agree with that, but I think their message is simple. Change begins when ordinary people decide to act, when they decide to take, some sort of powerful actions. So, yeah, that being said, brothers and sisters, let's break down what are like the main messages these white people are trying to share to everyone, whether white or to even black community. Now, let's have about 5 messages. Message number 1, silence can protect injustice. You see, this has to be one of the biggest themes throughout this discussion. And it's the idea that staying silent allows injustice to continue, injustice, to grow big, injustice to flourish. Because the more you are silent to something, sometimes it gives a signal that you are allowing it. Sometimes people say silence is agreement. When you look at your kids, they are doing a certain behavior and you don't silence them. Okay, you're just looking at them do it, even if you're not telling them to do. But the moment you are silent, yet you are seeing them doing that, it will keep on, going. For them, it is like it's an approval from you, like, oh, okay, our parents are allowing us to do this. Why not speaking? I mean, several of these women argue that people should not ignore situations they believe are unfair, okay? They are racist, that situation, okay? Especially when race and discrimination become part of the conversation. Now, according to their angle, their perspective, speaking up is better than pretending nothing is happening, even when it makes others uncomfortable. You just have to say what you think is true, even if it doesn't really concern you. But whenever you see some sort of, that issues of, somebody is discriminating another one, there's issues of injustice, speak up, even if it's not affecting you. Message number two, the use of, the platforms. One woman said, use your platform for good. Now, this woman repeatedly encouraged the white people, okay, white women to use whatever influence they have, whether they have social media platform with the people, whether they're influential at the church, whether they are influential somewhere else, they have to use that, whether it's a huge audience or simple conversation with family, friends, or, co-workers. Every voice really matters. Use your platform to, confront all issues of racism or issues of discrimination. But the point, I think, was not about becoming famous. It was about using your voice whenever you genuinely believe something is wrong. Some of these things, whenever they are said by black people, others say, oh, you are just using a racist card, you're just using a race card, okay? You are just deal with it. All those things people say. But whenever somebody within a white community confront, fair racist people within white community, it adds volume, it makes sense, okay? I hope you get what I mean. Because, every conversation has the potential to influence somebody else, whether you like it or you don't. But yeah, it does. It kind of does. Now, the message number 3, challenge racism with your own community. Let's talk about it. Now, in the video, another important message throughout this video is that confronting racism should not always be left to those directly affected by it. Just because you are white and you don't see anybody being racist to you, you are white and don't see anyone to trying to discriminate you. You are white, you feel like everything is okay, and then you sit down. No, not like that. Now, in the video, several speakers argue that meaningful change also requires people to challenge prejudice within their own community. Whether you are from black, you confront it within your own community. Whether you are Latino, you confront it within your own community. Whether you are Asian or you are white, within your own community. I think that's what they're trying to mean. And they're believing that, confronting harmful attitudes close to home can have a powerful impact, especially when those conversations are difficult. And honestly, many people would say that's where real change often begins. Remember, as always say, charity begins at home. So even issues of racism can begin at home. If parents are teaching their children to be racist, wherever the children will go will act the same. So I hope that point makes sense. Now, message number 4, actions speak louder than labels, speak louder than words. What do I mean? Now, throughout this video, we hear repeated calls for people to judge others by what they actually do, not simply by the groups they belong to. That will make sense, okay? When you see a black person doing something, judge him according to what he's doing at that particular time. Not because he's black and you conclude that he must be wrong. You see a black person moving at night, you obviously conclude that if he's moving at night in this location, definitely he wants to steal. Maybe he's a thief or he's doing something evil just because he's black. No. Have you seen them taking something from somebody? Have you seen them doing something wrong? If they have done that, then it's okay. You can go ahead and, and judge them and maybe arrest them or whatever, but not because they're just white. Or you see somebody is doing wrong, but because they are white, you leave them. Because you believe white people don't really make this, you just let them go. That's not the thing. Some of the women in this video appear to be, so determined to show that being an ally requires much more than saying the right words. If you want to be ally with black people, yeah, you need to be with them. Whenever you see, somebody being racist to them, somebody discriminate them, and you have ability to confront that, do that. That's what, these white women try to say. And they also continue to say it requires taking a stand even when situations become uncomfortable, emotional, or even controversial. Now, according to them, that is the example they hope more people will have to follow. Okay. Now, without further ado, let's go to the last point, like the message number 5. Justice should matter to everyone, regardless of their skin color, regardless of, the religion, regardless of their political party. Now, in the video, these speakers repeatedly argue that concerns about justice and fairness should never belong to only one community, okay? Like to one community, to white community only. When it's to white community, you give them justice, you give them fairness. When it's black people, you give them injustice, you give them unfairness. No, but it should be equal to every community. Whether somebody agrees with every opinion said in this video, I know, but the broader message is that every person has the responsibility to care about the treatment of others, regardless of their race, regardless of their community, their skin color. And whenever they believe racism is taking place, they should money up. They should take that responsibility and speak against it and confront it. I mean, that's the message. That's the conversation that reaches far beyond one incident of this thing that happened in Maine. One community, one headline. People need to do this together. And those are 4 thoughts that I think they are worth discussing. Like, they are much bigger in this video. We genuinely want to hear from you. What exactly is your thought on this? I mean, do you think more people are becoming willing to challenge racism public, especially from white community, or do you believe much more still needs to change? Share your opinion, share your thoughts, share your views, share your perspective respectively in the comments below. Yeah, because your voice is part of this conversation, remember. Okay, sometimes I read, not sometimes, almost every time I read your comments. I may not answer to all of them, but I get something out of that. If you enjoyed this breakdown, please don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more discussions on race, history, culture, and current events. So share your thoughts down in the comments. If you can manage, you can also share this video, and I greatly appreciate. Otherwise, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.